Hi friends, welcome back. Can I just start off with, you look really tall today. Could that be because I just got a new tripod? And now it's a sturdy tall one because this is my last one. And I don't know if you can tell, but I also got a new mic. Is it crystal clear? By the way, if you're new, my name is Ev, and on this channel, we love to talk about knits, whips, yarn acquisitions, and all things fiber related. Now, if you have watched my Knits and Babbles, you know that I am currently working up the shorts #1 from my favorite things in Himalayan bamboo. My goal is to knit up a pair of shorts in this blue, and then I have a lighter gray-white color that I will be knitting up the Camisole #6, which is the matching set Camisole tank top. This is where I was at with the shorts. I had done the 2 legs and connected them, and basically that's how I feel about it. Don't worry, I cleaned it and sanitized it before. But in all reality, I probably shouldn't be throwing away my Chiago needles or the yarn. I kind of need it to finish the shorts. We are trashing this. We are doing a challenge to see if I can knit a pair of shorts in a weekend. So this is where I was at. Now here's my dilemma. When I was knitting this up, I kind of ignored it and thought that it would get better as I knit up more. I'm not happy with them. One leg was knit up using continental style and one leg was knit up using English style. I started with the English because that's typically my preferred method. It causes me less pain and it's easier for me to work up. I noticed that there was this weird gapping between the purls and the knits. So hopefully it is noticeable. Basically, the last stitch of the knit and the first stitch of the purl creates this weird gap. And I've made rib stitches before and I've never really had this issue, but for some weird reason on this project, it is very apparent. That is why I then tried to do English style knitting, but I still wasn't happy with it and I still got that line. And then I'm thinking, if I'm putting all this time and work and I want to wear these shorts, I'm not going to wear them if there's a thick, ugly, holy line. So I did some research and I found out that it could be a tension issue. Could be the needles I'm using. I was using metal needles. Could be that I'm using needles that are a bit too big for my tension. What I ended up doing is I started a new pair of shorts this morning. And can I just tell you, these already look 10 times better. I switched from metal needles to wood needles. I also went down a size needle. This was supposed to be knit up with 4mm needles, US 6. I switched to a US 5, which is 3.75mm. That's not that big of a difference. It's just a little bit smaller. And I'm also doing a different type of knitting. I looked online and saw some people were saying that what you can do is drop the stitch where the gap is happening all the way down, and when you're done the rib, pick it up and knit it and reconnect the knits and the purls, like redo that whole line of stitch. By picking it up and redoing it, your stitches it'll be a lot closer than as if you kept knitting. But I don't want to do that for every single row, every single like block of row. That's going to be a lot of picking up and re-knitting, and I feel like it's just going to get too confusing. So another alternative, I found a video that I'm going to be linking in the description, and it is the Russian style of knitting. I noticed that the main gap point for me was between the last knit and the first purl. So I tried to the only thing I changed was to knit the purls the Russian way of purling described in the video. So far it's been working pretty well. So here it is. This is what it looks like with the Russian style. So there is still like a little bit of a gap, but honestly, it's really, really tiny. And I'm pretty sure that the blocking will help tension that out. So we're going to keep trying. We're going to keep going. We're going to see what happens. It's just that doing that purl, basically what you end up doing is instead of wrapping, like this is your needle, instead of wrapping counterclockwise as you pass the yarn, you just wrap it around the other way so that the path between the purl and the knit that you need to wrap the round from the back to the front is a lot shorter than the other way. So then when you tighten it, the yarn has a smaller distance to travel between the knit and the purl, and that is where the extra gap space is happening. So we are now Friday, and my work is actually doing this thing where we have 4-day work weeks. So today is technically my day off, so I'm here to spend it with you guys. And today we have 2 short legs. They look a lot better. I think that the gap trick actually worked really, really well. The gap isn't as noticeable as it was at the beginning. I think it was a combination. I'm not too sure if it was the fact that I changed needles from metal to wood, that I changed needle size, or that I am doing this new purling method to tighten and pull the last knit and the first purl together closer. I do think that this looks a lot better already. So let's go and attach these 2 legs together. Before I do that, I do want to show you guys. So this is what it looked like before doing all the 3 modifications, and this is what it looks like now. I think that this already looks a lot better. I did look a little bit more into it, why this could be happening. I'm going to link a video in the description explaining more about this and how to help if you guys run into this problem. But it could also just be the yarn, and not just the fiber content, but the way the yarn is actually spun, and I didn't know this. So basically, whether it's an S or a Z twist, and depending on how much twist there is in the yarn, a kink like this can happen when you knit because of the way you knit personally. So everybody knits a bit differently, so every yarn is spun a bit differently. So these 2 can kind of clash together. And what can happen is, I don't know if you've ever experienced, but I have in the past, some yarns, when you knit them, on one side you'll get the V, and on the other side it'll just do a straight line. I tend to see this a lot personally with superwash wools. For some reason, superwash wools are twisted in a certain way and the fiber is worked up a certain way that I will sometimes see this. So basically, it's just that the yarn is reacting or counteracting the twist and your knitting method. Whether you wrap the yarn from the front to the back or the back to the front, it is all depending on how you do it. But when this occurs, that's just the way the yarn is and works up with you, and sometimes it's best for that project to just change yarns. I'm not seeing that with this one. Like, basically what ends up happening is the yarn looks like this. So it's like a V, a slanted V, instead of typically you want your yarn like a beautiful V. What ends up happening when you counteract the twist is it ends up looking like this. So when you see that, that's either a tension problem, the style that you're choosing to knit, or it's just the yarn. Basically, you and the yarn don't get along, which kind of makes sense because each company kind of creates their yarn in their own way. It kind of does make sense that some yarns might not work for you. And I never thought about this. I thought that that was just part of knitting. I thought that that was just the yarn. This is how this yarn knits up. And I didn't necessarily connect that it was what I was doing and what the yarn was doing isn't working. So if you want to know more about it, check the video down below. If you didn't know, now you know. If you knew this, well, I'm sorry, but I didn't know this, and I've been knitting for 2 years now. These are a few things that you never really question when you're a new knitter and you learn on your own at home from watching videos. So let's connect the 2 legs together and let's knit this up. Basically, we are now right back where we were at the start of the video. I should have finished eating before hitting record. This did take me a little bit longer than I had originally thought, at least this part. I had to restart because I misconnected the 2 shorts. It said opposite leg, like the ribbed and the rib needed to be, and then the purl and the purl. I read it as like opposite. Where there's a knit, there should be a purl, and where there's a purl, there should be a knit. So I just had to redo that. Hopefully my stitch markers don't fall off. We have little shorts. They kind of look like, you know, tiny little biker shorts. So I knew that would happen. Dropped a stitch marker. This is the old pant leg that I'm using the scrap as like scrap yarn, as spare yarn. I'm honestly just curious to see what this will look like finished and blocked up. So it's now Saturday morning. The piggies are currently enjoying some lettuce, so hopefully that's not all you hear. You don't just hear. I'm not going to stop them from eating, so hopefully if that's bothersome, I'm sorry. But it is now Saturday morning, and it is, I think, 9 right now. But today I am staying all cozy and warm with my right angle jacket. I was gonna say it, but I didn't say cardigan and I just said it. But if you guys haven't checked out last week's video or the two-parter where we knit this bad boy up, I highly recommend you do. Link will be somewhere. It is not washed, it is not blocked, because I always have a fear when it comes to washing and blocking my knits. I'm scared it's gonna grow funny, or I'm scared the yarn is gonna bleed. I've never experienced either of those things, but I have seen it happen to other people and it sucks. So we have just opened a new skein for my shorts, and I don't know about you guys, but I always get so excited when I break open a new skein. It's like the project is restarting, and it's like a milestone, and it's just exciting to me. But these are the shorts for now. They look a little small, but they do stretch out, and it's kind of the ribbing because it's not blocked. It's just like, hopefully it's just pulling it in. I am making this small. And so far, the fixes that I've done to work up these shorts has worked really nicely, so I am pretty proud. I'm kind of glad that I restarted. So we just have to do one more row of decreases, and then we can just knit the body in the round. Depending, I read further on, and it does say depending on how high you want the waist, you can keep knitting. We'll see. Yesterday we connected the short and worked up all the way up here. So there's one row of decreases, and then my hope would be to get this done today. I have no idea, but I have no other plans today but to spend the day with you. This is now my midday, so I am just having a tuna sandwich. It's weird, but when I was working in an office, I was actually kind of embarrassed to eat tuna sandwiches because you don't want to be the one eating fish. So I was like, ew, tuna, no. Working from home, my love for tuna sandwich has come back. When I was a kid, I used to love tuna sandwiches. But also, I wanted to share today's tea is actually a gift from my sister. It is a lavender Earl Grey. It is from Provence en Couleur. Blend of black tea lavender from Provence, soothing with a hint of soft and creamy vanilla. So it's just this little loose leaf tea. That is what I'm drinking right now. However, I did put a little bit too much milk, so it's very milky, but it's okay. Even if it's really milky, you can actually really taste the lavender, and it's very good. So thank you, Mia. We kind of have the legs starting up. So this is where we stopped working the decreases and just kept working up. And I think I have about 4 or 5 more inches to do before doing, apparently the back has German short rows to like build up the back of the shorts. Productivity today, it's been a bit so. I got a little distracted because I started watching videos on spinning wheels and e-spinners. I got very distracted by that, but we are back on track. Great. So it is now 10 p.m. We just need about 1 inch, I think, in length. Let's see. I need 1 more inch. So that is about 1, 2, 3, 7. That's about 7 or 8 rows, I think. So that's not too bad. I just set a timer for 30 minutes. So let's see. Hopefully we can get that done. Do some short rows. And then I think it's just like you fold and sew in the, oh my God, my stomach. I think it's just, yeah, you just fold and sew in the elastic for the waistband. So far, so good. Let's just, gotta fluff the pillow. So last night we actually got through quite a lot on these shorts, and I'm really excited because we are halfway done the waistband. I did the 1.5 inches that is required, and I just did the purl row to fold it over. So you knit 1, knit a purl row and then fold it over, and then we will attach it and put the elastic band in there. I tried them on and they do fit. They are a little bit smaller than I had thought, but hopefully when we wash and block, we can have a better look, wash and block and do a reveal. I don't think that this will be in this video though, just because I do want to wash them and block them before showing you guys, which is now making me think, good thing I didn't knit the extra small, because originally I was going to make the extra small because I said I was between, like, my body measurements when I measured, it was right between the small and the extra small. I just thought, you know, to get a little bit more of a loose fit, I'm going to go to the small. And now I'm thinking, thank God I did, because had I knit up the extra small, these shorts would have been even tighter. Also, I'm currently shopping for a spinning wheel, so I have been watching oh no, I made a mistake. I have been watching countless videos on which ones to get. If you guys have any recommendations, please let me know. I am torn between the Ashford E3, is it E3 or E6? And the Eel, is it the U6? I'm torn between those two. I do want an electric wheel. I think that that would just be simpler and better for me, and it would just take up less space than a full-on actual spinning wheel, and I don't really want to have the worry. I think electric wheels would just work better for me. I don't want the Nano, because the Nano, I looked into it and it's like the Eel. It's a lot smaller and I'm scared that that will just break a lot easier. I don't think I will be turning this into a business, and I hope to be able to spin some sweater quantity of yarn. So I don't think I'll get the Nano, just because that one is too small. If you guys have any of those spinning wheels or any recommendations, let me know down below, or you can message me over on Instagram. I did put a poll, and if a few of you guys actually did message me saying you were also searching for a spinning wheel. I'm honestly so excited to start. Yesterday, I spent all afternoon watching videos for it, and I was so close to actually just, you know what, putting in the money and just buying one. But then I was like, okay, I've calmed down. Like, you just... Woo! We are done. Ow. We're done the shorts. Well, the waistband. So now we can fold it and attach it, bind off, and put an elastic, and I can be done. I'm gonna go find an elastic. I think I have one from an old skirt I tried to make, and I'm just gonna like take it out and reuse it. So we are going to try to do that. If not, I'll just put a cord for now, and I can just like have the option to just like pull the cord and tighten it. That could also work. We'll figure it out, but I'm pretty sure I have an elastic, so. We are back. I just had a little lunch break, but at the same time, I searched in my apartment for an elastic thread and I couldn't find anything. I only found this shoelace. For now, I will put the live stitches on stitch markers, and I will put this shoelace to act as like a cord that I can pull till I do get an elastic. So I'm gonna put you on here and then pop you 6. Okay, so we are off the needles. That is true, we do need to sew the crotch in as well. So these are the shorts and where we left off, and I think this is where we're gonna end the video for today. I'm gonna wash, block, sew in the beautiful crotch hole that is there right now, because we do not want that there. Nobody wants a hole at their crotch. So we're gonna sew that in, weave in the odd ends and outs, but I can happily say that in a weekend, we have a pair of shorts, and this is honestly kind of crazy. There were so many parts over the weekend that I thought I wouldn't be able to do this. Now we can start on the tank top and hopefully a little knit set. So for the tank top, I will be using the same yarn, but in this lovely light color, and hopefully we can cast that on really soon. I'm actually really impressed with how quickly these worked up and knit up, and I can't wait to see the final look. I just wanted to say this was a lot of fun, very challenging. I did doubt myself a lot over the last 2 days thinking if this was possible. It wasn't until this morning when I got to just having the last 20 rows to do that I was like, oh my god, we're actually gonna be able to finish. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was a lot of fun. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Everything is down below. I wish you guys a happy day, a happy week, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye. They're done.